Hi everybody, welcome to Balance Physical Therapy's corporate wellness program. So here we're gonna have a few quick tips for you in terms of making adjustments to your current workstation setup. So if you are lucky enough to be working in a typical type of office chair, one of the big things you want to be doing is that when you are sitting at your desk is you want to be seated with your feet flat on the ground. So some of the issues that we see people having with this is that in order to be sitting at their desk at a height that's comfortable, it actually puts them up too high to where their feet aren't touching the ground. And that is actually okay in the sense that we would rather have you be in a position where you can be seated at your desk and have your arms basically, we don't want to be bent more than about 90 degrees. So in order to account for that, let's say you raise yourself up so your feet aren't flat on the ground, but that's allowing you to be sitting at your desk in a proper position. What you can do is simply grab something like a box, anything like that, to put under your feet to simply raise your feet up to a higher level so that you can be in that supported position. So next, what we're gonna look at is if you're sitting in your chair correctly. So our ideal position would be that we're sitting back so that our elbows are in a supported position and that our back is it's sitting into that chair so we're not holding ourselves up, okay? But there might be some barriers to that for you. And what we see a lot is that when somebody sits back all the way in their chair, the seat cushion actually pushes into the back of their knees and maybe puts them in a bit of an extended position. And we want to avoid that because if you're having that constant pressure, it's not going to feel good. It can lead to another issue further along the line. So a simple fix to this is to grab a cushion or a pillow or something like that, and you're going to put it simply right behind your back, just like that. And then that's going to allow you to slide forward in your seat a little bit more, and then lean back properly so that you're working in a good position. So now last thing we're going to look at is keyboard position. So depending on what type of device that you're using, in my case, I'm on a Surface here. You might be on a traditional monitor on a desk where you have a keyboard or even like a wireless keyboard. The key to this and what we see a lot is that a lot of people like to have their keyboard further back so they can be more supported with their forearms. That's actually a position that we want to avoid because we want to avoid any sort of compression on really any sort of area of our forearm, especially on that area just below the wrist, because that can cause carpal tunnel. So the best thing you can do is bring your keyboard to the edge of your desk. Again, sit back all the way in your chair as much as you can. Elbows are resting on those elbow pads, and then your wrists are kind of almost floating or really just barely kind of resting on the edge there. And then you're able to use your workstation comfortably. For some people, it might be difficult where, if in case the surface that you're working on is maybe a little bit too high, that's where you're going to want to make other adjustments that you can refer to in the video to change your positioning, whether you're not able to sit back far enough, sitting in a supported position, anything like that. So make sure to reference each part of these videos, and that's going to give you a better idea of the changes that you can make to your workstation and keeping everything in line, because one adjustment might throw off another, so we want to make sure that everything is looking good. If you found this helpful, make sure to check us out at balancept.com and on Instagram and Facebook at balanceptmove.